Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the web conference organized by NSI. My name is Filip Vandaele. I'm sales engineer at Sophos. For those of you who haven't heard about Sophos, we are a security vendor. Company was founded in 1985, so already a long time ago. We started producing classic antivirus software. Meantime, we evolved towards a complete security vendor, meaning we have a next generation endpoint solution, we have cloud solutions, we protect your cloud, we have firewalls, wireless solutions, a whole bunch of security solutions to help you protect your network and your environment. Today, I'm going to take you to a study we have been organizing, State of Ransomware 2020. We asked a company to do some research on behalf of us, and they did the research, put it in an overview in a document. Those of you who want to have it, you can have it afterwards. It's a free available document. We did a study in 26 countries for about 5,000 IT managers, and we asked them some questions about how they handle ransomware in 2020. I'm going to take you through some of the numbers, so we have an idea on how the world is acting, what's exactly happening outside. We took 50% of the smaller companies, means between 100 and 1,000 employees, and we took 50% of half of the bigger companies above 1,000 employees, meaning certainly in Belgium and Luxembourg, that's definitely the enterprise market. The other half is more the mid-market. Really small companies were not involved in this study. And we asked them some questions. 3 years ago, we did a similar study. Involved, only 1,700 were involved, but we can compare some results we had this year compared to the ones 3 years ago. And first thing to remark, one of the two organizations was hit by ransomware last year. So if you think it won't happen to me, pay attention. One of the two companies is hit by ransomware last year. And whether you're a small company or a big company doesn't make much difference. We see 47% of the smaller companies were hit, 54% of the bigger companies. So yeah, in numbers, let's say half. It doesn't matter how big a company is. A remarkable thing, 1 of the 4 victims paid the ransomware or paid the ransom to get their data. So of all those who were infected, 1 on 4 the guys. So the bad guys, quite often, as well, police, as in cybersecurity companies, investigators, and so on, always tell, do not pay the ransom. But out of the study, we have a result, 26% paid the ransom. Why? For some of them, it's the only way to get their data back. If you don't have a decent backup, you're not able to restore data, machines, and then it's the only way out. So it's the only possible solution you have. From all those who paid the ransom, 1% did not get their data back. So of all of those who paid, 1% did not get the data back. So 99%, they just paid the amount, and they got the encryption keys to decrypt their data and got their data back. Why only 1% who didn't get their data back? Yeah, that's the business model. That's the hackers' business model. If they stop providing you with the decryption keys, then their business stops working. Their business model doesn't work anymore. In case you pay, then they know, hey, this guy or this company was vulnerable, we can attack them, they will pay, so it might be a possible victim next time as well. Some other numbers. When you're hit by ransomware, it has big, I could say, huge impact on the company. And for the smaller companies, out of the study came the number about 500,000 euros is the overall cost of a ransomware infection by a company on average. If you look to the bigger companies, it becomes $1 million, the average cost. In that cost, everything is included. Maybe they paid some ransom, they paid money, downtime, people we need to get in, people who are involved, loss of production, everything is calculated in that total cost of a ransomware attack. So if you notice 500,000 euros as being an average, that's quite expensive. It's a lot of money. I think for a lot of companies, 500,000 euros or dollars, it's to me, it's certainly a lot of money. The number of organizations who was hit by ransomware in the last year, we had one of the first slides that we can say 1 on 2 companies has been hit by ransomware. But we made a small graph and we put in there the different countries. And if you look at Belgium, unfortunately, Luxembourg was not big enough to put in there, but Belgium, we took Luxembourg and Belgium as the Benelux as one country. So if you look at them, 60% of the organizations were hit by ransomware the last year. So meaning if you have 10 companies, 6 of them have been hit by ransomware. So it's not something that might hit you, or you can be pretty sure you will be one day. The clue is, or the big thing is, when will I notice, how soon will I notice, and how will I act on it, how will I react on it? We see some other companies, some other countries like India, a lot of organizations have been hit by ransomware, and other ones only a very, very low hit rate. Quite often Philippines, Poland, South Africa, quite some hackers are convinced there's not much to grab over there, there's not much to earn over there. So if you look at that, quite some interesting companies, Belgium, Sweden, US, Germany, Netherlands, France, all countries where you find a lot of important companies over there. If you try to attack them and you can infect them, they probably will pay. Another graph. Here we show you the percentage of organizations that were able to stop the attack before the data was encrypted. So we have an amount of companies who were hit by an attack. Some of them were not able to stop it and got infected. Some of them were able to stop the attack. So those who were attacked, we see in Belgium, 23% are able to stop the attack before the data was encrypted. Meaning 77% of all companies who have been attacked were actually, the data was encrypted. That's a huge number. Known, a lot of companies have been attacked if you have a success rate of 77%, that's quite a good result. If you, for instance, in sales, if all the leads you get, of all the opportunities you get, and you have a hit rate of 77%, I think it's a pretty good result. What else do we see? A lot of attacks. Have been using all kinds of different methods to gain access to the organizations, to hit them. Then we see the first one, file downloads and emails with malicious links, and the third one, emails with malicious attachment. If we take them together, we still see, and that's already for years going on, email is still the #1 vector of infections. While on the other hand, budgets to protect email systems are much lower than protecting web traffic, network, firewalling, endpoints. So hackers still know that the #1 attack vector is still email. Why? Protection is less compared to, and even the effort in the protection is less compared to other systems like web traffic, firewalling, and so on. We still see 10% using remote desktop protocol, meaning you can just access machines using RDP from the internet straight into the company's network. That should be, should try to avoid these things anytime. USB sticks, removable media device, still 7% has been hit by USB media, and it's still very an attractive and an easy method. If I, for instance, I take a small USB stick and I come to most of the companies, and before you enter the building, there's a parking lot or whatever, you drop the USB stick. I'm pretty sure in most of the companies, within half an hour, that USB stick will be put into some machine inside the company, inside the network. If you make sure there is some malware on the USB stick, then it's a pretty easy way to hit a company. Via suppliers, pay attention. Certainly for bigger companies, you have a pretty good protection in place, good firewall, everything is nice in place. Good protection. Pay attention to your suppliers who have maybe network connections, so they can do some stuff online on the fly. They might be your most vulnerable points where attackers can gain access to your network. Cyber attacks, they lead to multiple areas of concern. What's the #1 concern of IT managers? Data loss. That's why everybody, nearly everybody is afraid of data loss. If you think about a company, we just put all the data away. How the company will continue to work, or how can we survive? There is no way. Without the data, the company is lost. You can close the doors and it's finished. Game over. Damage to the business. 1 on 5 IT managers is pretty much concerned about damage to the business. In several ways, damage can be done. Business can collapse, production can stop. There are enough examples available where production stops, and there's no way to let the company run as it should. Cost, also for 1 on 5 IT managers, cost is a very important area of concern. Mainly in according time, money. The moment you are infected, it will take a lot of time, a lot of resources, and will cost you quite some money to have your systems and your network operational again. So why are the organizations still struggling to reduce our cyber risk? If we see what amount of infections we have, how efficient they are. If we see 77% of the attacks are successful, so that's huge. So why are we as companies still struggling to reduce that? Well, one thing, certainly attacks come from multiple directions. They try to attack you from different directions. They send you mails, they try to access your systems. They do port scans to check if there are any RDP servers available. They might try to infect suppliers who have access to your network, home users who are working at home. If we can infect those, then we have an immediate access towards your internal network. So we have multiple directions, multiple platforms, multiple environments to protect. Most of the time, cyber attacks are multi-staged, meaning it's not just like one single action or one single thing they try to do. For instance, gain access to your RDP server. It consists out of multiple stages within the attack. They send you an email with a link. You click on the link, automatically some malware is downloaded. The specific malware activates a connection towards the outside world, so an attacker can gain control over a system inside your network. And then probably he will try to move to another machine, and on that other machine download some malware, and maybe from that point or from that machine actually launch ransomware towards a server, for instance. So you have multiple stages where the attack is executed, which makes it more difficult, of course, to understand the attack, to protect yourself, because there might always be some way in. And we see nowadays that the attacks have been more and more coordinated. It's no longer like we just send a few thousand of emails and we will see probably some desktops being encrypted, and from every single one of them we might have some of them who pay and we can get some money. No, they do some investigation upfront towards a company. That company, is it vulnerable? Might it be an interesting target? Yes, it's an interesting target. Okay, let's see how we can attack them. We might start with attacking some desktops, some workstations, but our main goal is attacking their servers. We see a shift from desktops, workstations towards servers. Why? Most of the data resides on servers. Servers are, in a lot of cases, even more vulnerable than workstations. And if you can bring down the servers of a company, then you're pretty sure the whole company is down, certainly nowadays. Technology, talent, time, or in short, certainly talent, time, we always have, and we all have not enough time to protect our network as it should be. Talent, it's pretty difficult to find decent engineers or security people, so it's not easy to find them, and it's even more easy to keep them. So it's not obvious. Technology, there's a lot of technology on the market, so it's not obvious to choose or to make the right choices on that level. How the most significant attacks got in? As I already mentioned, through email. Still the #1 threat vector, email. Web, also for about 30% of the attacks come in by web. Vulnerabilities, software vulnerabilities. As long as we humans create the software, there will be vulnerabilities in the software. So we will need to patch our softwares, operating systems, applications, and so on. We will need to patch them. Patching means it takes an effort, it takes time. You need to run it in a test environment and afterwards in a production environment. So it takes some time before the production environment is actually patched. Maybe 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever, meaning that period of time you're vulnerable. And as I already told, the US, just drop one and you're pretty sure within half an hour it's in somebody's PC plugged in. And then the most frightening number in here in this slide, 20% don't know, meaning we asked all the IT managers how the most significant attack in their company got in. And 1 out of 5 said, I don't know, I have no clue. Meaning they were infected, they had ransomware, files were encrypted, maybe they had to pay or do some recovery. And 1 out of 5 has no clue how the ransomware got in, how it happened. So means next time that same attack will take place, they will be hit again. They will be a victim again, and they will be encrypted again, their files, their data, their servers, their machines. So that's even a more concerning number. Multi-stage attacks are the norm. We asked them how the attacks got in, by phishing mails, by data breaches, malicious code, credential theft. If you make the sum of all way above 100%, meaning different techniques are used in attacks just to gain access to accomplish their goal. All this information leads us to a quite or nearly impossible puzzle to make. Although we have quite some high-tech solutions and technology is evolving day after day, and we know we will be hit by a cyber attack. We just know it. The only question is when and when will we see it. Seeing the fact we have lack of skills, time, budget to invest in cybersecurity. IT is still seen, and certainly cybersecurity is still seen as just a cost. It does not contribute enough to production for a lot of managers, a lot of organizations. If we put them all together, we as a company, as Sophos, we can help you try to complete the impossible puzzle and make the impossible puzzle. But we're convinced it's time for a different approach compared to what we have been doing for the past decades. The different approach, well, we have been working with point security products for years now. We have a product on the endpoint, we put something on the firewall, we have a proxy, we have all different kind of solutions, maybe all pretty good solutions, but we need to think more as security, cybersecurity as a system. We won't make it anymore. Seeing the fact we see we're attacked from different kind of directions. They use multi-stage attacks. We have completely different ways to enter a network, email, web, USB sticks, whatever. So we need a more global approach. And in the past, we had our products, they were pretty good products, but they were working in isolation. They were working kind of on their own island. We did not share information between the different solutions, and it was not that easy to manage, because if we had a firewall solution, maybe 2 firewalls, a proxy, an email solution, endpoint solution, something on servers, all different products, all different management tools, and all single products who try to do their best in protecting your network. What we need to accomplish, all our different products need to work together. They need to integrate, and real integration. We need to share information, and constantly, not only at the end of the day using an API and pulling out some logs and putting them in another system. No, we need to share information constantly. If anything happens, we need to be notified immediately. Centralized management. Preferably, we have as less management consoles as possible. Compatibility by design. They should work together. They should be designed to work together as solutions. That was not the case in the past. We had separate solutions, and yeah, everybody started developing APIs or whatever, or through some tricks with command line interface, command sending to a machine or to a solution. We could do some integration, but it was not designed that way. So what we see quite often, we have an initial attack or multiple attacks, can be phishing, can be URLs, command and control. We see a second and maybe a third, fourth attack where they try to steal credentials, gain access to other machines, privilege escalation, drop malicious content. That might be even a third and fourth with, again, privilege escalation, drop another phase, some malicious content, and so on, to get to the ultimate goal, that's get access to your data, spread and launch the ransomware, attack your servers. Nowadays, not only we see files being encrypted on your machines, we also see hackers just copying your data to some environment on the cloud, in the cloud somewhere, and then they just ask you, hey, please pay me a certain amount of money, otherwise I will just put the data just on the internet, so your data is available for all your competitors. So it's no longer the case you cannot access your data anymore. No, we copy your data, and then we're gonna say, hey, either you pay or either we forward the data to all your competitors. There might be quite some of your competitors who are pretty happy with some inside information. So what we need to accomplish, product integration. All the different products need to integrate with each other. That's why we at Sophos, we developed our synchronized security, meaning we're going to integrate all our different products, let them talk to each other, exchange information with each other. They will share that information using our security heartbeat. Our security heartbeat is kind of the lifeline between the different products, solutions, and our central platform, our global platform. We have started using more and more dynamic policies. Dynamic policies, why? We need to be able to do modifications on the fly. If anything happens within, let's say, maybe even a few seconds is a lot of time. So immediately some things need to be able to be changed. So we need dynamic policies. Automatic incident response. We need to respond on things which happen. If a detection is being made, we need to be able to respond immediately, not sending an alert to an IT administrator or a security admin, which is maybe in a meeting and he will be able to take a look at the alert this afternoon. So we lost 2 hours. That's more than enough time for some infection to easily spread throughout your network. Previously unseen insights by correlating information from, let's say, different endpoints, from mail, from servers, from wireless network. By correlating that information, we can figure out and run into things which we couldn't see with just single point products. If we see access towards, let's see somebody sets up an SSL VPN from a strange country, and all of a sudden we see strange things happening on one of our servers. That might be a trigger to say, hey, here is something fishy going on. So how are we going to help you try to solve the impossible puzzle with our synchronized security? Well, we will, because we reside on different entry points, mail, web, firewall, endpoint, server. We have information from all those different points, so we can detect the multiple attack vectors which have been used. With that mechanism, we try to eliminate as much as possible the security gaps which reside between the different methods, and we try to identify risks which we haven't seen yet, mainly because of the more and more next generation stuff which is built in and the AI which is being used. It's no longer needed. We have seen something to be able to detect it. So we can detect stuff without having it seen before. The more complex attacks, we were able to intercept them because of layer protection, automatic responses, and because of the automatic responses, we have the ability to share information really fast between the different components in our security solution. Because we simplify our management, we only need one management console. We will automate a lot of tasks, mainly to gain some time, because we as a human, we act too slow. No matter how fast we think we are, but we act too slow. Because of those, we can save a lot of time and can save a lot of money, of course. A few words about our synchronized security system, what it all can accomplish for you. Well, first of all, suppose we have an endpoint, we detect some malware, and that security heartbeat, that lifeline, will communicate with our central console, with our central platform, together with our firewall. And a firewall can make sure my infected device gets isolated on my network and is not able to communicate anymore. Traffic coming from that device will no longer be accepted by my firewall, so my device has no longer access to certain resources on my network. Once the device which was infected has been cleaned, which is also an automated process, automatically access is restored. The moment the machine is healthy again, automatically access is restored, and that machine can gain access again towards the different resources. That's something in the whole trajectory from detection, isolating, cleaning up, restoring the access, normally takes roughly 3 to 4 hours in a normal environment with a normal IT team. Fully automated, it takes us 8 seconds without any input, without anybody having to interfere. Nothing has to be done. Just 8 seconds, that's all. Same for servers. Whether it's a client PC or it's a server, the mechanism is completely the same. Zero touch wireless. In case we have a device which is connected through our Sophos wireless system, something is detected on the device. Through our security heartbeat, we can communicate with the wireless and make sure that the device only has access to certain resources, has the restricted access, or maybe access is completely blocked until the device is healthy again. And that, in this case, a mobile device gets an alert, hey, your access is being blocked for this and this reason. Whether it's a mobile device or it's a laptop which is connected through wireless, for both it works. Email. We have our email solution. In case in our email solution some compromised email is detected in a mailbox, we can automatically isolate, block that email box, and using our security heartbeat, sending an alert towards our Sophos central console, central platform, which is verifying, hey, what machines use this particular mailbox. All those machines, we're going to automatically launch a scan, because probably if anyone has already opened that mail, we might have some infected or malicious content on that machine. Once the machine is cleaned, automatically the mailbox is restored and access is restored to that particular mailbox. We have a system or a solution, fish threat. Fish threat is an let's say awareness tool. It provides you. It can provide you with campaigns. You can send out campaigns to your users with fake phishing emails, for instance, and then get information back on who clicked on the email, how fast did they click on the email, and then automatically link, for instance, small training videos to it. So the user has to follow a training, has to go through a small training to make him more and more, or to create more and more awareness on how to act on, for instance, phishing emails or credential theft or whatever. We can use that same mechanism by grabbing information from our email solution. In the email solution, we can put, let's say, a risk score on every user, on every mailbox. Based on that score, we can automatically launch a certain training for people whose score is not, let's say, not good enough. Can't say high. Maybe if you have a high risk, then you should receive automatically a training. Lateral movement prevention. The moment a machine is infected, we detected a threat. Automatically, communication is done through the security heartbeat. My firewall is informed. My firewall will inform all the other machines, hey, pay attention. This machine is infected. We detected some malware on it. So we're going to isolate the machine, make sure the other machines are not able to communicate anymore with that particular PC, laptop, server, whatever machine it is. We're going to make sure it's completely isolated from the network, from the LAN, from the other machines. So full isolation. The only thing which keeps on working is the communication with our security heartbeat, with our central platform. When we detect a threat, automatically a cleaning module is being launched, and we try to clean the machine itself and clean the infection. The moment it's cleaned up, automatically the connection is restored and the machine can work again as before, without any hesitation, without any interference or action done by the IT admin or whatever. So there's no interaction needed. That's why we're able to do that in a few seconds instead of, let's say, hours. Get more visibility, because visibility is core. What we can't see, we can't control. And remember that 20% of the IT managers who had no clue how their main attack got into their network, yeah, then it's pretty tough to find a solution and protect your network if you have no idea how the infection got in. So visibility is key. That's why, together with the endpoint and the firewall, we use the security heartbeat to exchange information. For instance, an application which we haven't seen yet on the firewall. We have no clue what application it is. We just ask the endpoint. We know from which endpoint traffic is coming. We say, hey, endpoint, what kind of application is this? What's the executable? What's the installation path? Give me some attributes and parameters concerning that application so I can classify that application and in the future handle that application as we should handle that kind of application. So better visibility is key nowadays. We did some investigation as well, and we figured out with the synchronized security and the app control, about 1 on 3 customers discovered a rather smaller amount of applications. Well, let's say 100 new applications, it's not that small, but 2 on 3 customers discovered more than 100 new applications. And it's not because we don't have any applications yet in our XG firewall which can be recognized. We already have thousands of applications in there which can be recognized. Why do we still discover new applications? Applications being made in-house, custom-built applications, and you can't cope up with all the different applications which pop up day after day. If you automatically can detect them, classify them, then we have visibility, and visibility means control. So let's get back to our challenges we had. Reducing our cyber risk, enhancing our visibility, and make sure we have some return on investment on IT level. Make sure that our IT investment does not have to grow or does not grow exponentially. Reduce the cyber risk. We eliminate the gaps. Our products, the different solutions, the different products will communicate with each other, will talk to each other. We introduce the automation. If anything happens, if anything is detected, automatically actions are taken. There is response immediately on the actions. Besides that, we have the alerts, so the admin can be informed, but we need automated actions. Visibility, no matter what operating system you have, it's Windows, Mac, Linux, and since we have all those, well, we could call it different products, but if you look at it from your network point of view, there are all kinds of sensors in your network. So we have much better visibility on all the network traffic which is going and flowing through your network. If we have better visibility, meaning we see what's happening. And finally, if we see what's happening, we can control it. We can easily link the traffic to users. We know on the endpoint, we have a product installed there. There is an agent over there. We see what's happening on the endpoint. And that's nowadays even more and more important. We see a lot of traffic using HTTPS, for instance. If you talk about web traffic, we put our firewalls in between. We try to play man in the middle. We try to figure out what kind of traffic we see, what data we see passing by, but there's only a limited amount we see of that data. Most of the data, we have no clue what's passing through our firewall. Where's the place where we can see actually exactly what's happening and what data is entering my system on the endpoint. And if you can start correlating this with firewall, with other solutions, then we have a huge advantage compared to the different point products. And because we have one single management plane, we don't have to pay that much attention towards our consoles, our different consoles. We only have one. Less time for trainings. The automated systems, they all free up time for the IT people who can do other tasks, who can do other stuff. So what's next for you? Well, the impossible puzzle. We put all the information about our vision to accomplish or how to build the impossible puzzle. It's available in a PDF report. You can find it on sophos.com/puzzle, as well as the ransomware report. That's also available if you want a ransom report. I think it will be provided to you by NSI. So you can take a look at it, go through it and see more details than I just put in the slide deck. And at sophos.com/synchronized, you get a lot more explanation and videos and free trials of our synchronized security. And if that information is not enough, just either contact NSI or contact myself at Sophos. We're happy to help you and guide you through the world of cybersecurity and protecting your systems, helping you making that impossible puzzle, hopefully. We cannot guarantee we can make it all the way, that puzzle, but we can help you get as close as possible. And remember, no one can guarantee you 100% protection, but we can try together to get as close as possible towards that 100%. Thank you for your attention. I don't know if we have time for questions or if questions can be put afterwards. Okay. Thank you, everybody. In case you have any questions, do not hesitate. Contact NSI or contact us at Sophos, and we'll be happy to help you get really close to that 100%. Thank you.